A lot of people are wondering about what standard procedure, what did they experience versus what seems to be preferential treatment in this case. Now, understanding that you're the prosecutor, you're not the police, so you weren't there and you're not involved in the front line, but do you have a baseline of how things normally go in a case like this?
Well, I think you bring up a great point, Dave. There are two separate entities we're talking about here. We're talking about the police, and we're talking about that Sunday night and what they were doing. And then subsequent to that, when police reports are submitted to our office, we make a charging decision, and so we're a separate entity in that regard.
And in fact, if I can, there'll be a third entity. The Department of Licensing will step in as a third entity because they'll make decisions separate from what you guys do, right?
That's correct. They're completely independent.
Right. All right. So take it from there. We've got a couple of different approaches to this.
Well, police officers up and down the valley and really everywhere across the United States, when they come upon a scene of an accident or they come upon this type of factual scenario, clearly use their discretion on a daily basis. And they evaluate the scene, they evaluate what has happened, they evaluate the accident, they evaluate the drivers. They make a determination at that point whether the drivers are cooperative, who's injured, do they need immediate medical attention. They triage essentially, and they also make a decision what to do with the people that arguably may have committed a criminal act. In this particular case, and in a lot of cases similar to this, they make a decision whether to in fact arrest if they've got probable cause, and in this case they did arrest Ms. Mendez. They did have probable cause. She was driving the vehicle, and they believed at the time that she had been involved with alcohol. So they make a decision to arrest. They take her down to the Yakima Police Department and they process her accordingly. At that point they determine whether she should be booked, and that means placed into custody. The Yakima Police Department at that time believed that because of her status, they wanted to make sure that we knew as a county prosecutor's office that we may be getting the case, and they did alert our office. They spoke to one of the deputy prosecutors in our office Sunday night, and that prosecutor said that she would talk with me Monday morning, which she did. We determined immediately, and Monday morning I determined immediately that we would obviously take the case to avoid any conflict of interest. Ms. Mendez and everybody who is at this stage is presumed innocent.
That's right.
And the law is very clear. I know people really have already decided that she is guilty and needs to be punished. That is absolutely, as it sits right now, she is presumed innocent, and she will be treated as such until she either changes her plea or is found guilty by a jury or a judge. And that's a right that she has. She has a right to contest these charges.
You're right.
She has a right to absolutely have a jury trial and utilize all the rights that we all personally have. And I, as prosecutor, want to uphold those rights absolutely every time for every person, regardless of their status. Under the circumstances, to my knowledge, she does not have criminal history. The reality is, once again, right now, that has nothing to do with my charging decision as county prosecutor or our work as an office. We look at the facts of the case, the accident, all of the things that go along with that to make our final charging decision.